Hello Lovebugs, it's me Loverrlee. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very festive, very Christmassy, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, that's okay, very just festive holiday fun build for you. So basically, sorry if you can hear that, I'm going to turn that down because I can hear it really loud actually. But basically, I built a gingerbread building. Basically, it's not. I don't know if I did so great. It definitely doesn't look like a gingerbread. Like, it doesn't exactly look like a gingerbread house. I think I did my best, you guys. I end up calling it a gingerbread dollhouse. It's a little bit of both. It's sort of gingerbready, sort of looks like it could just be a regular house. I'm not sure. Maybe I might do this again next year, honestly, and I might get better at it. But I'm still pretty happy with the way it turned out. And yeah, just so you guys know, it was a build inspired by Tichery Build Challenge. It was the gingerbread build challenge. I think it was just called Gingerbread Build Challenge by Tichery. Another amazing streamer, one of my friends. I got to hang out with her over at TwitchCon this year. It was awesome, and just very sweet simmer in the community. Yeah, so I was really excited to attempt this because I saw a lot of other people. They had done a lot of cool gingerbread type buildings, and again, just to clarify, you guys, I feel like I could have done a little better, right? I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I could have probably made it look more like a traditional gingerbread house. But I wanted to go for something different. I wanted to do not just a gingerbread house, but I wanted to do something else in addition to gingerbread house. So it ends up looking more like a dollhouse, and that's sort of why we went with dollhouse. And when I say we, I actually ended up streaming this over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Loverrlee. And I had an amazing suggestion in chat. Not sure if the person who suggested it wants me to shout them out in this video, but you know who you are and you're awesome. And I really appreciate the suggestion because, yeah, at first I was like, what should I do? Maybe I should just make it sort of like a modern gingerbread house. I thought that could be kind of interesting. I was trying to think of what would I do if I were trying to build this out of real gingerbread? What would I want to make it interesting? And so, but yeah, we ended up going with this gingerbread dollhouse idea, which was a lot of fun. And basically the rules of the challenge, I did have some rules to follow as well, as part of Tichery's challenge. Actually, I'm sorry, Tichery, I keep saying Tichery because that's her name on Twitter, but I believe it's just Tichery on Twitch. That's a mouthful there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Anyway, I'll have the link in the description if you guys want to go check out her channel as well, because she streams a lot of awesome Sims content on her channel. But basically, her rules, she had she made a little, graphic that said Gingerbread Build Challenge by Tichery. The rules were it must resemble a gingerbread house on the outside, the color of the house, which is what we did. And then you can't have CC, but there was unlimited funds, luckily, so didn't have to worry about budget at all. And it must be fully decorated inside and out. Now that's why we kind of decided to go with that dollhouse theme. As you can see, I have the little dollhouse sitting up there because I was using it as wanting to get the rooms exactly divided the same way, just as the way the little in-game dollhouse is. And then another one of the rules on her graphic was use the terrain tool. So that's why I lifted this whole thing up, so you can guys see I really was struggling there in the beginning to get the terrain all raised up and flat on the top, and just like, I really had no like real inspiration, let's say, for like anything other than let's just raise this up a little and sculpt a little bit of a wiggly squiggly path and just call it a day, you know. But yeah, I'm still learning how to do terrain tools. Yeah, just showing off the little dollhouse again, trying to get, see what colors we want and stuff on that dollhouse. But yeah, basically, so we had to have the terrain tools, and then you also, it was required to have it be on a 64 by 64 lot, which is what we're building on. And this is the lot that's actually in the city living town, so the city of San Myshuno, and it's actually placed in replacement of that Central Park. So I didn't actually change the park, like, I mean, that park is like a quote-unquote special lot, so you're not actually able to change the lot type for some reason there in that in this location in particular. But I just thought it looked so beautiful, and you'll see in the screenshots, I just think it turned out so like just magical, like Christmas in the city. Like, it's so pretty. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, and it is a nice place to go ice skating, because we were supposed to have a lake or ice skating or both. Technically, it's like, I wouldn't say it's so much a lake as I say it's like a little pond. I do end up doing technically both, but it could have been one or the other, or just either way. So the lake is more of a pond, I would say, and it's like a chocolate pond. We end up making, but we do put ice skating, and I've got a nice screenshot in the end here for you guys to see that. So that's what I'd say this lot is probably mostly used for. Now, of course, you could always just place this on one of the other 64 by 64 lots that the game technically has. But the weird thing about The Sims 4, and I never really understood this, is that there are no base game 64 by 64 lots. Like, you have to have one of the two expansions in order to have any 64 by 64 lots, which is like, so obviously this one, and then this one, then it's even a specialty lot. So like, you can't make it any type of build you want, except for a Central Park, which is just, I always found kind of odd. So if you wanted to place it on, like, if you wanted to make it into like an actual residential house that the Sims could live in, because technically they can. I mean, it would be quite cold because the whole side of the house is missing, right? But I did make it fully functional to where the Sims can access all these items. They are definitely able to walk up to this house, walk in it, walk around it, all the way through it. So it is actually technically a functional home, aside from having the wall missing. And so if you really wanted to, you could place it in one of the, I think there's two 64 by 64 lots, if I'm not mistaken, that actually come with Windenburg, which was the get together town, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly. I believe so, though. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh, also, the last kind of rules for the build challenge was to have the season set to winter, which is not an easy thing to do in this game. It's not just like a tab like it is. Like, see guys, that little sun on the very top bar? There's a little sun next to that little bulldozer icon. That, if you clicked on it, that cycles through day and night cycles. But I really wish that they included with seasons the ability to cycle through to different seasons. And of course, if you don't have seasons, then it's kind of impossible for you to do this challenge in a way, because you don't have winter if you don't have seasons. But I think that's one of those types of rules. I think it's probably more lenient, because it depends on when you're placing the lot, when your season set. But I end up waiting till winter. I actually end up playtesting this again on my stream. Again, this took me two full streams. I must have spent 12 hours on this build, you guys. And granted, that was probably because I was interacting with chat a lot and doing all these other things, so I wasn't actually like fully probably working hard on the build like I normally can. That is why this video is ends up being like a 20-minute video. I do apologize for that. I should have probably said that earlier, but I'll say it right now because I meant to earlier. It's just that I do apologize with the length of some of these speed builds. It's just that I speed these up. Like, I swear, I'm just like a slow builder, unfortunately, and then I speed them up so fast that it just seems like if I sped it up any faster, you guys would almost get nauseous from like how much I'm whipping it around and everything. And of course, now I say that and it's like sometimes there are like those lags, and unfortunately I just can't avoid really those little bits of lag, or not lag, but you know, those little kind of pauses, just because that's when like I interact with the chat a little longer or something like that. And you know, I could technically edit those out, but oh my gosh, if you guys have ever, like I said, I've got 12 hours of footage. I would have to sit here for 12 hours watching that to cut out those little moments. So unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. I don't have that kind of time to edit my videos. I do apologize. Hope you understand that. But yeah, basically, long story short, it's just that I do apologize if these videos tend to be a little longer than I'd like them to be, but that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, it's a lot of work, you guys, to furnish like a whole 64 by 64 lot. Like, I was struggling to figure out like what I could do to fill out this space, because that was a requirement again of the build challenge, was to make it on a 64 by 64 lot. Otherwise I would have been like done with this challenge like so much faster. That's another reason why I decided to build such a grand house. And I actually did use reference for like the shape of the house too. I was going online. You guys the VODs are around on my channel for like a couple months, like 2 months maybe max. So if this is anywhere past 2 months after the holidays, December 2018, you probably won't be able to see these VODs anymore. I probably won't even end up saving them. This will be like just the only evidence that the VOD ever happened. No, the stream, I mean. But you know what I mean. Like, am I making any sense, or am I just rambling now? I'm sorry if I'm like totally going over some of you guys' head. You're like, what is a stream? What's a strom? Again, I stream over on twitch.tv/Loverrlee. That is my preferred streaming website. I do know that like technically YouTube offers streaming services, and technically Twitch offers like upload video services, but I know like right now, like most simmers, especially simmers, I don't know about like other greater YouTube users, like content creators in general, but I know a lot of them do that, where they do both Twitch and YouTube. And it just happens to be kind of what is sort of expected, or what's sort of the norm right now of content creation, as far as I understand. But maybe that will change in the future. Who knows? Anyway, I've been sort of talking over kind of what's been happening this whole time. So I hope you guys can kind of like understand, get the gist of what's happening. Now, this is a cool little trick. I was trying to use these little... maybe this isn't the best example because the coloring was really off when it glitched through the wall like that on that angle, but those little towels, and I forget where those towels come from. I think they're like Spa Day or something, but I saw somebody else's build, and I honestly forget, because I went and looked at a bunch of other people's gingerbread builds, because this isn't like brand new or anything. Like, actually a lot of people did gingerbread building in the past years that The Sims has been around, but I never ended up doing it myself, so I was like really excited to actually do it and actually like follow somebody else's challenge, because again, the last rule here on this little graphic says upload to the gallery #Tich's Gingerbread, so TICHS Gingerbread. That's the hashtag I uploaded this under, so that way on past January 1st, it's actually due, quote unquote, due on January 1st. So if you guys want to do this, you kind of have a little bit of time to participate as well, if you're interested in doing Tich's challenge. And then she'll be actually reviewing like all the builds on her channel. So I was like, I really wanted to do this, and I might as well do it so that it's part of a challenge, because those are always fun. I love participating in as many Sims challenges, especially Sims build challenges, as I can. there have been so many in the past that I like had wanted to do and then just didn't get around to it or just didn't have the time. So I was really excited about this one. Anyway, also, yeah, so here's that little lake I was talking about. So I ended up making it into a chocolate lake. It kind of looks like, because, you know, you can only have like dirty, quote unquote, dirty brown sludgy water. So it doesn't look the best, but we use our imaginations and think it's hot cocoa lake or whatever. Like, or it's not a lake, it's technically a pond, right? But yeah, I love using those little crayons. I didn't know what they would be aside from actual crayons. We'll just pretend they're like edible candy crayons. I don't know. There's a lot of things that like I was trying to go for things that would look like candy-y, but it was actually harder than I thought. Here I am like painstakingly placing like all these little, like, technically they're rainbow poops. It's like the weirdest item in the game, and it is from Debug, but it's from the Cats and Dogs like pack, like a Cats and Dogs expansion, and they just have like poops and rainbow poops and I think they even have golden poops and all kinds of funny things like that hidden in the debug menu. And basically oh my gosh, this part, I just want to say, it took forever to do. I know I was talking about rainbow poops for a second, but I was like, oh my god, I have to tell you guys, it took forever to put all those lights on the sides of that house. So I hope that you guys appreciate it. Like, I hope you appreciate what it went through for that. No, it took me like a good hour probably to put all those lights along this whole building. But yeah, anyway, back to the rainbow poop thing. So basically the tragedy of the rainbow poops is like, it was just trying to have something line the pathway, right? Because that way, like, when it's covered in snow, you're not going to see it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to line a pathway so you can kind of make out where the path is supposed to be. Unfortunately, with those poop items, the Sims still recognize them as poops. So they will get stinky and then they will be taken away. The Sims will actually be able to still clean them up. So sadly, they don't stay there for very long. I just had them for like screenshots and stuff. When you guys place this in your game, if you want to place it, it is up on the gallery now under my hashtag Loverrlee or EAID, the last Love Bites. I'll say that again in the end. But basically, it is up on the gallery if you want to download it. But when you place it, you know, just keep that in mind. those little. I like to pretend that they're those like meringue cookies or something. They're like rainbow meringues. But yeah, oh my gosh, I saw someone else use the chocolate ones too as like Hershey's Kisses, quote unquote, heavy air quotes. Oh my gosh, you gotta get creative, you know, with this, because there really aren't that many items that like make sense as like something that looks like a gingerbread house. Does that make sense? So like, that's why I was using those little towel rolls, and I don't know, you guys saw me placing like those little icicle sculptures on the roof as like kind of candy decorations, or I got kind of lazy, I'll admit. Like, this is what I mean by I probably could have done slightly better with this build. I just got so oh my god, after placing all the lights, I was just like, I'm done, I don't care anymore. But like, I didn't make anything look very frosting-y. I couldn't really find anything that looked like super frosting. I'm sure there were some debug items that I like just overlooked, but you know, I still like the way it turned out. I still think it counts. Like, I still feel like it's very Christmassy. Now, I was just trying to fill in this extra space because there's just like this weird long stretch of awkward space. So I was like, what can I put here? I was like, oh yeah, how perfect would it be to get married out here? You know, like with all the twinkly lights, like at night, like, oh my gosh, like a beautiful Christmas, you know, midnight Christmas wedding. Like, it would be freezing, of course. Like, your Sims are going to be in the snow. But nonetheless, you know, luckily, I was going to say Sims don't have to worry about that, but actually they do now. But you know, they'll survive, I'm sure. Hopefully not all your guests will freeze to death out in the snow while getting married. But anyway, here it is, you guys, the screenshots. Look how beautiful it looked with all the snow falling. And this is like my favorite screenshot that I took. Like, I love that. Oh yeah, here's the little rainbow. Like, I like those little like wall decor things because they look like little frosting tips, you know, like little frosting bits. And that was the giant Christmas tree. Now this is the quote-unquote, you know, bathroom and the little kitchen. Again, fully functional, all this stuff, you guys. And the little kids room. I didn't take a picture of the other rooms, but they all work. They're all accessible, like I said. Now, yeah, here's the little wedding place with the arch. Oh, it's so cute. Here's my sim. She's ice skating, so super fun, and swinging on that swing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, though. Thank you so much for watching. It is available on the gallery under #Loverrlee or EAD The Last Love Bites. Merry Christmas and have a lovely day.